What's up, fellow fantasy loving friends? Josh here with RSMP Tabletop, and I'm beyond excited because we're gonna head down to Off the Wall Games because recently they just moved locations. They're in West Springfield now because they opened a new store. And if you'll notice, Off the Wall is one of the companies that's behind me back here. So when I first started the channel, before I had any views or anything, I just made a couple small videos, and Off the Wall actually reached out to me and they were like, hey, come on down, we want you to try Necromunda. They got me into the game, they got me playing it a little bit, and that was kind of like my first real experience into like the tabletop world, because again, my background was more in like Magic the Gathering, so it was super cool. So I kind of feel like Off the Wall is near and dear to my heart because they're a big part of the reason the channel is where it is right now and why we're still going. So Off the Wall, if you guys see this, thank you so much for not only what you do for me, but as the community in general, because I know you guys have a big dedicated fan base down there. You got a lot of players showing up all the time. I used to play a lot of Magic at your old store, so I'm honestly just glad to see that you guys are continuing to grow and you're moving on to bigger and better things. The first thing I noticed when I went to the new store is the location's awesome because it's right on Riverdale Road in West Springfield. There's plenty of parking space right out front of the store. There's nice glass windows so you can see it. There's a good sign out front so you know exactly where it is. The new store has a lot of the same charm that the old store did, except it's just a little bit bigger and a little bit more bright too. I really like the new setup. They sell everything from the Warhammer stuff that you would come to expect, also the Atomic Mass Games stuff. And don't forget Malifaux, and don't get me wrong, Malifaux is something that we're gonna touch on in this channel because this game just looks too awesome not to. Obviously right now I've been pretty big into the Marvel Crisis Protocol stuff, but as winter approaches, I really do want to play a Necromunda League with those guys. I ended up playing Escher Gang. I'd probably just repaint them because I've gotten a lot better since I first started, because in fact, Escher Gang was kind of like the first Games Workshop Warhammer-y type stuff that I was actually able to paint up and get my hands on. So I think I've come quite a long way since then, so I'd really like to go back and touch them up and see if I can make them look just a little bit better. I've always felt that Off the Wall just had like a really good community feel and vibe to it. Like you could go, you could hang out, sort cards, play games with your friends. Friday Night Magic was always a blast. Like I remember I'd get like me, my cousin Adam, my buddy Keith Harris, and a couple other people that we were playing with. And at the time I was playing Jund when it was like really big and modern. Reed Duke had made it a huge thing. It was all about Thoughtseize and Tarmogoyf and all that nonsense. But as you'll notice, there's even more space to play the games that you love here at this new store than there was at the old store. If you're anywhere near the new Off the Wall, I highly recommend you go check this store out. While I was down there, I actually ended up picking up a few things of my own. I finally picked up some Pro Acrylic paint and I got a couple paintbrushes, but I'm gonna talk about some of that stuff in an upcoming updates video. So that pretty much wraps this video up, guys. But again, Off the Wall, I just wanna thank you one more time for having such a great place for people to go and play and have a sense of community. I see a lot of smiling faces and a lot of happy players there every single time I go. So from the bottom of my heart, we're so glad to have you. The community needs more places like you than ever before, and it's great to see that you guys are growing and thriving and continuing to try to improve each and every day. So thank you for that. And if you like the content, please remember to like, subscribe, share, and comment because it seriously helps out a ton. Until next time, stay safe.